Welcome to Mondays with Max. I am Max Voltage, your host for this evening. How are you guys all doing? It's been a heck of a day, but we'll go over a bunch of things tonight. Basically have nothing to do with the things I'll go over with. Those were just totally other things that were frustrating today. But anyway, all right, let's see who is here tonight. We have Steven Cicero, son of a rabbit, Crypto Crag, Chuck Danger, Canadian Miner, Traveler's Travels, Frogman, Vinny Del Greco, Todd Tebow, Northern Crypto and Tech, also known as Jean-Francois Aubin. Sorry, I almost forgot the last part. Let's see who else. I said Frogman. Burn. Sorry, Burn. He's not just Burn anymore. He's Burn. I think I said the Toxic Miner, but I'll say him again because I wasn't sure. Aragorn Strider is here. Taines. Let's see who else. Black Cat Team, Rizzo529, Dan Bulmer, AXU, and Mining of the North. I think that's a different person. Offshore Miner, and of course Sunflower Mama is sitting right next to me, helping keep me in line. Turtle Tech, Sox Fan 96. Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, sir. Chum Change is here. Check that out. And he got in just under the wire. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys all for being here. I do very much appreciate it. We're going to go over a couple things tonight. I don't have a lot of good news tonight. There's been some crazy things happening recently. But let's look at the markets first, because they aren't exactly great news right now either. But, you know, it is what it is. Actually, let me go back to that. So we've got Bitcoin. It's on its way back up a little bit, about 1% in the last hour. So it's heading back up just a tad. So we're around that $94,000, $95,000 range. It needed a little break. I figure it's got support at like 88 to 91, that range, if it decides to go down any further. I think that's where it will stop, but could go down to the upper 70s, possibly. I just don't think so. Based on the support levels that I've seen. So, but yeah, let's see what else. Ethereum's just below 3,500. Solana's dropped down to 237. Dogecoin down just above 40 cents. Cardano's under $1 again. But again, look at some of these that are still like totally crazy for the week. You know, 28% for XRP. Cardano's at 32, almost 33%. Got Avalanche up 3.6% on the day, although it was up, I think, more than that earlier, but it's still up 22% for the week. I think we kind of lose track of that. You know, Stellar Lumens, holy crap, that's up over 100%. That's having quite the run. Polkadot, which I do have some of, is at 42%. So very happy with that one. Chainlink is at 18, to almost 19%. Let's see some other of these lower ones. Uniswap up 26%. Love to see that. ICP up 25%. Polygon, previously known as... Oh, yeah, that would help if I shared my screen. There we go. Polygon is at up 26% for the week. And let's see. Render's not up much. Caspa's still down 11% for the week. Arbitrum, 27%. Filecoin, glad to see that one finally showing some life, up almost 25%. And let's go down to the bottom here. We're starting to see some of these other ones that we're familiar with, but... Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Let me go to the watch list. I need to go all the way back up to the top. Let me go to the watch list. There we go. Now let's go to the bottom. So actually just added SundaeSwap to that, up 20%. I own a whole 61 of SundaeSwap that I got from a Cardano airdrop. It was free, and it's worth what, $6? Oh no, not even 60 cents. Anyway, Raptorium's still not showing really good, but hey, Noctua for the week is up almost 10%. I mean, it's been knocked down a lot. Zephyr's doing well at 25%. Pyron, I'm surprised it's still at 2,500. I mean, think about it. They basically said we're out, and it still has a greater market cap than all these below it. Cracks me up. Pre-search up 7.64%. Glad to see that showing a little bit of life. Radiant, not doing great. Not doing great at all. Nexa even for the week, but I thought they had a recent run. And Dynex up 11, a little over 11%. Alephium showing some life, $1.60 at over 40%. 4% for the day, 40% for the week. Hive Mapper kind of going up and down. It's been kind of very volatile. And I loved seeing this. Flux up to 72 cents. Go, baby, go. They actually, you know what? I got to write this down. That's actually one thing I did want to share. Okay, I'll come back to that. I just totally forgot I wanted to share that tonight. But anyway, it's something about Flux. Not a secret or anything, but it may have fallen under the radar a little bit. Raven Coin up 8%. Pancake Swap up 43%. And Helium up 4%. I'm just looking at some. Yeah, I pretty much went over the other one. Jupiter down 6%. So overall, not doing horrible. Not doing horrible. Again, you got to look on the weeklies as opposed to the dailies. Daily looks pretty not so good. And of course, everybody focuses on Bitcoin being almost at 100,000, thinking that we were going to cross that barrier, and we didn't. So not a huge surprise. That's going to be a huge barrier to try to cross. Crypto Craig says, we do not see your screen. Yeah, you see my screen now. Sorry, if you do want to tag me or want me to say read your chat, please tag me. Makes it a lot easier as I'm not going to be able to get through all of the chat. All right, so not really too much to talk about on the markets. Nothing really exciting. But like I said, if you look at where we were last week, we're still higher than last week. When we were talking about this last week, we were not at 95,000. We were 4% below that, approximately 4% below that. So we're still doing good, still doing good. It's going to be kind of slow and steady. And like I said, that $100,000 barrier is going to be a little rough. Now let me just see if I had said, see, I'll have to update this. 94.53 and 0.1523. 94.53. This is where it was before. Oh, it went up. Okay, well, I'll leave it there and here because I'm still ahead. But that's at 94.93, I believe. Right? Yeah, 94.53. Yeah, I actually jumped to since I did this like a half hour ago. Well, that's not too bad. Anyway, but Litecoin is currently ahead of Kaspa. This was 0.1523. Sorry, photobomb for anybody that 94.53 is what that was. So currently, Litecoin is ahead of Kaspa. Still anybody's game. Never know. We never know. But we want to get into a few other things tonight. I will eventually get into Salad and Vast, but one of the first things I wanted to hit on was kind of a public service announcement. And wow, you want to talk about how screwed up the media is? This really showed it to me. So this story was reported by CBS, Money Watch, no less. And this was about a ransomware attack on a software vendor. Now, that isn't even in the subject. It's just that Starbucks is impacted. Okay, so let's go over this. So Starbucks said Monday that a ransomware attack on a third-party software provider is hindering its ability to track baristas' hours and manage their pay. The November 21st cyber attack targeted supply chain management software maker Blue Yonder, which lets Starbucks employees view and manage their schedules and allows the company to account for their time at work. Okay, so we're going to Ontario Miner gifting 5 memberships. Thank you, Ontario Miner. Very much appreciate it. Let's see who got it. Wow. Chum Change got a membership. Golden Wolf, Sox Fan, Toxic Miner, and Dom G. Congrats everybody who got a membership. And make sure that especially you, Chum Change, make sure your YouTube is linked in Discord so that you can be part of the members only chat within the Discord. And well, we'll talk about that eventually. There may be some special items that may be arriving for some long-term members. So we shall see. We shall see. There might be some hints in the background. Might be. Not in this background. But you'll have to go back to the original video and see if you can find it. Anyway, so what cracks me up about this is so minuscule of the problem. Are you serious? There are so many stories about Starbucks. Oh my gosh, will they be able to pay their baristas? And well, I'm not trying to minimize that as an issue. The overall issue is much, much larger than this. Much larger than this. It is basically a warehouse management system that is used by many different companies, including Procter & Gamble, Kroger, Albertsons, Dole, Anheuser-Busch, Procter & Gamble, if I didn't already say them. I mean, we're talking huge companies that use this software to manage their inventories in warehouses. And if anybody's ever worked in a warehouse, to try to manage a warehouse with no inventory control, how are you going to ship anything? How are you going to receive anything? Everything is computerized these days. And it really makes me wonder, like, why all these companies went to a SaaS type of implementation for their systems. Anyway, but let me get to the better articles that actually don't just focus on Starbucks. I mean, give me a break. And I'm saying it's all over the place. I didn't mean to specifically call out CBS. USA Today kind of does it here, where they're at least they name the company. Ransomware attack on Blue Yonder hits Starbucks, affecting ability to track workers' hours. So yes, the headline is still bad, but they at least go into what this really means. Morrison's and Sainsbury are also affected. Morrison's actually came out in one of the articles I read, said it could affect inventory on some of their items by 60% because they can't get it. They cannot get it. I actually put it on an alert on Misfit Mining this morning stating that if you are going to shop, especially for stuff for Thanksgiving, get your stuff from the grocery stores now, because we don't know how much stuff is not going to be able to be shipped because who's on Blue Yonder? I just named a number of very, very prominent companies, but they don't name it. They name that there's a lot of companies, but they don't name every single one of them. So we don't know. Crypto Craig with wait a minute. Wow. It's not the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. I have moved up in the world. Thanksgiving to a friend that always reliably streams on Mondays. Appreciate the insights. Thanks, Max. You're welcome, Crypto Craig. Appreciate you being here. And I just noticed that Geek of All Trades is also here. And Yusuf Puts and Rud Puts. Wow, that's kind of funny. I have them both one right after the other. And of course, Aragorn Strider, I didn't think I mentioned earlier. And man, Red Panda Hot Dogs here. Yeah. And all set. Yes, all sets here. Not that I'm all set, but all sets here. So anyway, Blue Yonder, a major software supplier, supply chain company, has been hit by a ransomware attack. In the last article, I'll show you something that kind of makes me think it is a ransomware attack, but I think it was a phishing attack. Somebody did something stupid. They haven't come out and said that, but I'll show you the little the little clue that indicates that that's probably what happened. So yeah, there's a couple grocery chains and the two major grocery chains in UK have outages. Like I said, Morrison's and Sainsbury. Again, they don't go over too many of here. They start going over the bottom. So Albertsons, the parent company of Safeway and Jewel Osco, which Jewel Osco is a major grocery chain in our area. They use Blue Yonder, as does Kroger, who owns Ralph's and Fred Meyer. Procter & Gamble, Anheuser-Busch also use or have used Blue Yonder products according to the company's website. And what kind of is a little bit alarming is the fact that the companies have not commented at all. So here's the thing. So if you're working with a company that has had a ransomware attack and you've linked your computer systems with them, how ready are you going to be to link your computer systems back to them? You're going to be making darn sure that you have no issues repelling any type of attack there is. So if Blue Yonder hasn't completely identified the attack and what files and all that kind of stuff that caused the problems, other companies are going to be reluctant. So I'm guessing other companies are trying to fall back on older systems that they've had and they've purchased in the past, or maybe other parts of their company use. So everybody's trying to recover as best they can. But again, this is not pretty at all, and it is going to have an effect on inventories. I would be shocked if there aren't going to be a few things that would be majorly affected. Oh, that's another one. Kimberly-Clark, in another article, was identified as having used Blue Yonder as well. So, you know what they make, right? Toilet paper. So, there might actually be a problem with toilet paper this time. Just saying. All right, well, let's go to the article that I did a search. There's obviously now this is all over the news. Most people have heard about it, but I was like listening to the radio on the way home. I was listening to the news, and they're like, Starbucks is affected. I'm like, really? And they don't go into really any other detail than Starbucks. I'm like, oh my God, seriously, people. The Starbucks thing is so minimal. It's easy. It's an easy workaround for what their problems are. It's hours. It's how much people get paid. You could manually calculate that. Yes, it's a lot of man hours in order to be able to do that, but it's not like an inventory system where you're trying to ship stuff out and in of thousands of items. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. So let's go to this last article. This one was the best of all these three. So again, Blue Yonder used to be JDA Software. It is now a Panasonic subsidiary. Words are hard tonight. They really are, as Goat likes to say. Or I should say, has coined the phrase. But it has annual revenues of over $1 billion US. I had no idea it was that big of a company, and 6,000 employees. It has a lot of great features in its software, which is why it has been implemented so many different places. Among its 3,000 customers are high-profile organizations like DHL, Renault, Bayer, Morrison's, Nestle, 3M, Tesco, Starbucks, Ace Hardware, Procter & Gamble, Sainsbury, and 7-Eleven. And again, that's not, I mean, you can go in and all like picking a different set of companies to report. You can go to Blue Yonder's website, and I'm sure you can find who all their customers are. But yeah, it's attacks and disrupts the supply chain. This started last Thursday on the 21st. and they've been working diligently. And I'm sure that each one of these companies that uses Blue Yonder has been working diligently on trying to find a backup way of operating. So that's what you're going to do in this situation. But yeah, this affected Blue Yonder's entire network. It's everywhere within their network. So they are working around the clock to recover their network, make sure that they're clean, so that people can be confident in relinking to it. But without knowing exactly how it came in. So here's the thing. This was what I was talking about. Blue Yonder claims it has detected no suspicious activity in its public cloud environment and is still processing multiple recovery strategies. So this tells me that because they haven't seen any suspicious activity, there's probably a phishing attack, which means that somebody clicked on a link and that person got somehow, whether it be session spoofing or whatever, that's how they got in. They looked like somebody else, which would be undetected, and then they planted it. But they're going to need to figure this out before they're going to gain the confidence of the companies to be able to link back up to them, because they're all nervous that they're going to get affected by this. So managed services environment refers to the infrastructure and systems that Blue Yonder operates on behalf of its customers, typically including SaaS platforms and cloud-hosted solutions for supply chain operations. Exactly. And none of the clients, none of the customers have commented other than Starbucks. Starbucks has said, yeah, we're basically that they're writing stuff down. That's what they're having to do. And interestingly enough, there haven't been any ransomware gangs taking responsibility for the attack at Blue Yonder, probably because it wasn't very sophisticated. It didn't need to be. It just needed to have a good social engineering behind it to basically make somebody think that they were clear to click on a link. And you only need one. You could send this to all 6,000 employees if you get the employee email list. Which, by the way, this is what gets me. How many companies out there have their URL, google.com or whatever, that's public. And how many companies have first name dot last name at the company URL? A lot. It makes it very, very easy for companies to be able to send phishing emails to employees. Hell, all they got to do is scrape LinkedIn to get who works where. It's not hard. It just boggles the mind of how companies can get fooled, and wonder, oh my gosh, why did I get fooled? Well, that's your start. It's not hard to get a list of emails based on the email format. So I don't know. This could be bad. I don't know how long it's going to last. But just know, there's probably going to be some delays on grocery store deliveries as a result. So grocery stores are not probably going to get restocked as quickly because of this problem. Otherwise, because they'll have no idea where their stock is. They'll have no idea where their inventory is because they can't interact with their system to update it. So, yeah. Kaiser, how are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Crypto Craig, I just having a look at this. The Crypto Craig says they need to hire Geek of All Trades. They need to hire somebody. Geek of All Trades might be a good place to start. That's for sure. I don't know. It just seems so obvious. And maybe Blue Yonder doesn't have those standard, that first name dot last name email format, but like I said, I've known lots of companies that have that format. So yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Never click the links. Yes. You know, it's funny because the company I work for sends us security training from like an outside company. And I'm always afraid to click on that link because I'm like, wait a minute, is this a trap? Or is it really training? Or I don't know. So I usually follow up with somebody in IT going, is this really a thing? So anyway. All right. Well, let me move on to the next thing. Actually, let me check this. I'm checking to see if I've gotten any response from Salad, because last time I checked, I had not. So what's going on with Salad is, unfortunately, at a particular time, in fact, let me do this. Okay, let me do this. Let me bring my Discord up here. Okay. So I submitted this on community support, basically saying, upon checking up on my Salad rigs, this was this morning at 9:16. Upon checking up on my Salad rigs, I determined that I'm only getting paid on 1 out of 2 3090 rigs with active containers. What information do you need to look into this? I don't appreciate not getting credit for work. Okay. And I'm like, okay, here's the IDs of my 3090 rigs, and these were the 2 that were working. And I could see CUDA work was being done on both of them. They both had 32 gig, which is typical of vmem files. So it was that. And then I also provided this showing that only one was showing that work was being done. The other 2 were at 0. So, and I'm like, there is all the evidence. And anyway, I didn't get any responses. But bottom line is, I don't like getting not paid. I don't like it. And so I have, in fact, I'm going to check my email and see if I got a response. But I sent the logs off. I told them, look, I'm going to go live with this because this is kind of crazy. I certainly don't like it. But my suggestion to people is to, yeah, I didn't get any response. I didn't expect to get a response that quick. In fact, let me check one more thing. Make sure you didn't provide a response in the support chat. Oh my God. Interesting. Okay. I did not get any response in the chat. In fact, I think the live chat is gone for the day, so I didn't get anything. But yes, that is true. Patty Whack. Anyone else being forced to update Salad once it finishes a job before it will pick up another one? Kind of. What you're seeing there is you're on a job, you're not updating, and then Salad goes, no more. Anybody on this release or earlier will not be able to keep container load. So they will get basically canceled at that point. And that's when you're forced to upgrade. That's what I've seen. So that's, and what I generally do is I'll look at those machines over a period of time. Anything that doesn't have a job, I upgrade it as soon as I can. And eventually something will not have a job even before they stop it. So that's what I've been doing. Crypto Crag, Extreme Will Tech had some other issues like this today. He went over some of this in his video as well. Weird. Yeah. I mean, here's my recommendation. If you have something on there, I would say probably just keep it on there, but I'm not, this wouldn't even make me think about rolling out anything new on their platform. What really, really annoyed me this morning was the fact that in their announcements, let's see. Yeah, here it is. Hey, friends and fellows of the kitchen, and hello, 3090, 3090 Ti, and RTX 4080, 480 Ti chefs. Guess what? We have even more jobs available for your GPUs. If you're not a proud owner of these cards, spread the word. Well, it's great, but guess what? I didn't get any of those jobs. I had my 3090s have been without jobs for a good portion of the day. So you need them? Really? It doesn't seem like it. And other people were reporting that there was like, when you were getting a new container, it was like really super slow downloads. I mean, typically when I'm downloading, I've got a fast connection. So 2 gig. And typically I'll get somewhere between 500 and 700 meg down. So, and I see that like in the task manager, I can look at the network and what it's doing. And I'm like, holy cow, 500, 700 meg. That's pretty amazing with all the other stuff I got going on the network. And this is the reason why daily I do over 10 terabits of data on my network. Thank God I blue unlimited. That's all I can say. If I didn't have unlimited, man, I can't even believe what that bill would be. Oh, yeah. Travelers Travels says, we use Blue Yonder for our planograms, displays, price tags. It's down company-wide at the moment at Advanced Auto Parts. Yeah, I mean, Blue Yonder is used so many places, and it is down everywhere. So, yeah, it's bad. It's definitely bad. So, anyway, going back to salad, yeah, it's not good. It's definitely not good. They got a baseline of things. Anytime you have a company, the first thing you need to do is pay your employees because they're doing the work for you. If you don't pay your employees, you're not going to have employees very long. If you don't pay your hosts at a company like Salad, you're not going to have hosts very long. They're going to leave. They're going to go to another hosting provider, well, not hosting provider, but you know what I'm saying, AI platform, and they're just going to roll out their GPUs on those. Yeah, Salad, please, whatever you do. And I have gotten no updates from anybody. I reached out to Brandon. Brandon had reached out. He did not provide me an update. Maybe they provided him an update, and he was just busy. I mean, he's got a life, so maybe he didn't have a chance to forward that to me. But I am getting nowhere with getting information with what the heck's going on at Salad. But it ain't good. It ain't good. So I'm sure Salad doesn't like me telling everybody this, but I mean, it's everywhere. Just go into the community support tabs or channels. You'll be able to see there's a whole bunch of people that were commenting on problems today. I'm hoping it was just today, but it makes me wonder, how long has this been going on? Makes me wonder. Like I said, but again, Salad is not being transparent. Come out, make a statement. Hey, we're having some issues today. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. We're trying to figure it out. We will provide you an update as soon as we have more information. It's that simple. It's that simple. Be transparent. Come on, get a PR person or have somebody who is acting as your PR person actually doing that job. Because if you have, because this is going to affect your customers as well. So, this going out to your customers and your providers is just the basics. It's simply the basics. So, yeah, not liking it at all. So let me go over a couple of things here. Crypto Craig. Oh no, you said that already. Kaiser. Yes, it is finally happening. What's finally happening? What's finally happening? Wonder if AutoZone is down. Get it in the zone. You just wanted me to read that, Vinny, didn't you? Luckily, our pay wasn't affected. Yeah, I mean, they have different systems that different companies use. I know that I don't know how many companies are actually using Starbucks. I was going to say Starburst, Starkist. I was going to say all kinds of other star. Anyway. Yeah, and then there was a problem with Microsoft today as well. I heard that all of Office 360 was down, including Outlook. I haven't actually checked that. Although I don't even have that anymore. I take that back. Anyway, Swamp7 says, I will send you info via Discord. I have all the logs from the last 2 weeks on all my rigs are still pulling same power, quarter the payout, and 12 to 15 terabytes of bandwidth. With 1/4 the payout? Holy crap. This is bad. Only 1/4 the payout. I've looked at the logs briefly. I have not tried to figure it out, but I'll keep an eye out on that. May just put out a regular video on it. I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware that this was going on. Take a look at your, so what is the process with that Salad is using? They are saying open up a ticket, basically open up a chat with them. I think there's also a way to do it via email, but on mine, actually, it was, I opened up a chat. They then said, we want the log files. So the log files are basically, you bring up the little thing on your tab bar, which comes up and tells you yes, you're chopping, or if you want to change chopping. Anyway, the upper left, the icon, if you click on that and go down, there's a thing where it says show logs, and you go there, it'll show you all your log files, and then they're done by date. So that's what you want to be looking at to see what's going on your rigs. Swamp7 says logs from the PDUs, went from $40 down to $5 per day to $10 to $12 a day. I think he means $40 to $45 per day to $10 to $12 per day. I'll be interested to see that. I'll take a look at that. Kaiser said you will be briefed the first week in December. Nice. I like it. Teasers. Joker Miner. Well, it's about time you got here. We were just talking about supply chain and all the shenanigans going on with malware and how it may affect inventories and such. Oh yeah, I saw it. Smells like a rug pull. It's not a rug pull. It's just technical difficulties, I'm sure, but it's, man, they need to get a hold. They need to get a hold on this. Otherwise, they're going to be losing a lot of providers. Joker Miner. No, I'm not talking about the Bears again, but I'd love to talk about the Illini. That Bears being hit by ransomware. Yeah. That was a crazy, crazy ending to the game. I didn't see it, but I read about it. That is a crazy ending. Not quite as crazy as from what I understand the Cowboys game. I didn't see that game either, but I watched Scripted by Tom Grassi, and that tells me exactly how all the games ended up. And oh my God, the Cowboys game must have been absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. To Argon Strider says, tech everyone here what Hanlon's razor is. Hanlon's razor? I am missing what you're saying there. Illini who, Mass Boost? Illini who? That would be the University of Illinois. That wonderful, awesome university. Oh, teach everyone here what, I don't think you mean Hanlon's razor, do you? Anyway, we'll go past that for now. Toxic Miner says, great game, but I was hoping the Cowboys would lose. Not sure why can't tank for better draft picks. Yeah, you would think at this point they might as well. Same with the Bears. Bears right now are lined up for the 9th draft pick, but
Hanlon's razor is where you suggest people should consider other explanations for human behavior before assuming malice.
Oh.
Never attribute malice to which adequately explain those stupidity.
Okay, got it. So, what Sunflower Mama looked it up. Why don't you just put it in chat? Yeah, she's gonna put that in chat. I know what she said, but I'm gonna screw it up if I try to repeat it. Link in my. Oh, you already. Okay, yeah, she already came up with it, so she'll put it in chat. Yeah, the Bears, Super Bowl 20. Yeah, the greatest team of all time. We're the Bears. We're definitely the Bears. Yeah, there we go. Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. That's Hanlon's. All right. So what I started to talk about after talking about salad was Vast. I also had problems with. I talked a little bit about this, I think, either last week or Saturday. But Vast, I was having trouble with one of my rigs, and I got help. That's one of the reputations that you won't get help. I went into their chat, and somebody answered, looked at it, and found out that there's a bug. And they said, okay, well, let me see if I can find a workaround or a hot fix. And I would say the way that they ended up fixing it was a workaround, but it worked. They got my rig back up where it could be rented. All the GPUs could be rented. I had a point where my 6 GPU Octo server could only have 2 GPUs rented. The other 4 would not do anything. So they now have a cron job that they're running to check for these issues. And that's how they're managing this for now. So, but bottom line is they fixed it. They figured out what the problem was and they fixed it. And now my Vast rig is now being rented, of course, by the guy who rents it intermittently, which is annoying. I got 2 that's on a steady job, or at least was. Let me see. Is it still on a steady job? Yep. 2 GPUs on that rig are on a steady job. The other ones are up and down, up and down, up and down. So those 4 GPUs are doing about 10 cents an hour, unfortunately. But I'm also background mining on them again, so I am making some other money mining Aleo on that. So, and speaking of Aleo, actually that was the one thing I did sell on Sunday. No, I sold it on Sunday when I was at the bike race, actually. And no, I sold it on Saturday night. I did sell it on Saturday night. When Aleo went up to like $1.50, although I didn't sell it right at $1.50. It was like $1.40 when I sold it. Now it's back down. Last time I checked, it was back down to $1.20. So basically sold that, waited until Sunday when prices dropped, and bought more Polkadot, which I now moved over all my Polkadot to Coinbase so that I could stake it. Because staking it from my hardware wallet, EliPal, you have to have like 250 Polkadot. I don't have 250 Polkadot. I got about 100. I wasn't going to invest that much into Polkadot. So anyway, so I got about 100 Polkadot, and I got that over at Coinbase, and now that is staked over there. So, InSync made a song about salad and Vast. I don't even want to ask, but I know you wanted me to read that for some reason. I'm waiting for the punchline. You're supposed to play me the song? Oh my God. Did you create that song, Kaiser? CryptoCrag, how do you have your Octo server set up? 3 rentals for 2 cards each? Yes. That's exactly how I have it set up.
That's exactly
Oh. Bye.
I was like, you can't be talking about that.
Yeah. Got it. Well, hey, maybe it'd be BUY. Oh, I see. You're saying bye, actually meaning bye to Vast and Salad. Well, like I said, Vast, I think Vast gets a bad rap. They probably have one of the best services out there, in my opinion. They may not be quite as user-friendly to use, but they're reliable. And they haven't had major tech issues like some of the other platforms have. So, I still like Vast. I'm still doing well on Vast. And I like the fact that you can run a background job. So if you like look at Salad, no, it's either them or nothing. You can't run a background job, because if you run a background job, Salad goes, oh no, your GPUs are busy, so therefore you are not eligible for a container load. It won't switch between the two. So yeah. All right, let me catch up on some of these. Let's see. Tatibo says, I've noticed that XRM mining was loaded on one of my Salad rigs. I do have mining enabled. Yes, that's the thing, is I have mining disabled on mine. Because again, it's not mining to me. It's somebody wanting to get on my rig to mine for a discount. You know, you're making probably less with that mining and you're paying more for power. So to me, it seems like a losing proposition. So I am not in favor of that. Crypto Craig says, better to run 3 rentals with 2 cards or just... Well, so running 1 rig at 6 cards, I don't think you can set it at 6. No, I guess you probably could. The problem is showing up in searches. So yes, you will still show up in searches on the CLI. And if nobody puts in a number of GPU search on the GUI, you'll come up. But if somebody puts in there, I want a 4 GPU rig or more, well, there's not a selection for 4 or more. You either look at 4 or you look at 8, but there's nothing in there for 6. So, yeah. Red Panda has a question. Okay, what's your question? Just spit it out. You know, by the way, Panda, that's a pet peeve of mine. So, don't you hate it when somebody comes in and sends you a DM, somebody you don't know, and all they say is, hi. Dude, don't waste my time. If you want to DM me and ask me something, ask it in the first message. Get my attention. Otherwise, forget it. Drives me nuts. All right, Panda, what's your question? His question is an Octo server with 256 gig of RAM, a single EPYC 7532 and 63090s, is it capable of Vast AI? What really grinds my gears? Yes, that really grinds my gears. Anyway, is it capable of Vast? Of course it's capable. Why wouldn't it be capable? I mean, I've told you I have mine with 4090s in there. Yes, 3090s would be capable. Now, here's the thing. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. You certainly have enough cores. If you take this 256 divided by 6, how many does that give you? 256 divided by 6. I just didn't want to do the math in my head. It's 42 gig. I mean, typically, you know, when we talk about Salad, you want 64 gig. I think Vast, anything over 32 is fine. Others have said you want twice as much RAM as you have VRAM. So that would be a minimum of 48. I can tell you in mine, I have 512. That's what I have in mind. So do with it what you will. I have not seen Kaiser says Red Panda band.
He also said think silently in your head about what you're doing the first week of December.
Think silently in your head about what you're doing the first week of December. Kate, what is bothering me is, okay, I'm thinking silently in my head what I'm doing the first week of December, but they're not anything that you would know what I'm doing the first week of December. So I'm just like, you're freaking me out, Kaiser. Not good. Don't freak me out, please. Eric Strider, can I ask you a question? You just did. Get the fuck out. Love it. Love it. So anyway, yeah, the 256 would probably be fine, certainly to start out with. And I have not seen RAM being a huge issue if you've got a decent amount. I mean, obviously, if you had like 128, I'd be like, no, that would definitely not be good for 6 GPUs. But for 6 GPUs and 256. Yeah, it's probably fine. But yeah, the Vast is, like I said, well, here, let's pull it up. Let me pull up 500. Well, here, I'll just copy this link because it'll just be easier. All right, let me get rid of this. We're done with this. Let me go up to here, bring up 500.farm for Vast. Loading Grafana. Okay, so you can see on 1120 for 4090s, this took a huge dip on 4090 demand. A huge dip. And it sucks. And so let's go to 3090. And again, these are for verified. So 3090 about 50%, but you're really, if you look at it, you're making anywhere from 10 to 18 cents per. That's on a verified rig. So if you go to unverified, not making as much. 7.2 cents to about 15 cents. So, and a lot less of them are rented. So you have 376 rented, 651, while you have greater than 50 cents rented on verified. So yeah, Panda, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But one of the things I tell people when they first get on the Vast is the first week. First week, it's very important. Do not want to get rented. You don't want to get rented. Let me repeat that. You don't want to get rented. Buy an on-demand job. Interruptible job? Sure, no problem. On-demand job, you do not want to get rented. You want to set your price so freaking high that if you got a job at that rate, you'd be like, okay, that's fine. But if it's not at that rate, you do not want to get rented. The reason why is because you don't know exactly when, but Vast somewhere along that way is going to come along and verify your rig during that first week. Then once after that first week, you can set prices lower. It won't be like immediately, but it'll be probably like 2 or 3 weeks later. You probably be verified at that point. But that's the key. I have done that on a number of rigs now after I got, I basically did that to get my third rig verified. The first 2 rigs I had, I was just lucky. I was really lucky on the 8GP rig because I don't think there was very many times where I wasn't rented on that one. But thankfully, that one got verified. So, all right. You do know what's going on in my head. Okay. All right. I don't know how you know that, but okay. Maybe you can share with me what you think is going on in my head. Sunflower Mama said, it's just crickets. It's not complicated. It's just crickets in my head. All right. All right. So we want to Vast, Blue Yonder. Oh, exciting news today. I got an email from Metronet, a fiber provider, saying that they're going to be in my area. They're building out in my area, and that to pre-order. So let me see if I can find it. Yep, there it is. You have completed your pre-order. Get ready for fiber internet. I am stoked. I'm probably going to keep both of them, at least for a period of time, to make sure the fiber is good. I believe right now I was only able to order when I went into it, I was only able to order 1 gig up or down, but they do have 2 gig up or down supposedly everywhere. I'm sure that won't be a problem for me to upgrade at that point, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I want to get 2 gig up, 2 gig down. That's what I want, because I currently have 2 gig down and I use it. And so I also want to see that if I use load balancing between the two, I want to see how much bandwidth I actually use on each platform. So yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to checking that out. I also want to see if there's maybe a way, and maybe I need to talk to Mining King about this, if there's a way that I can assign one internet connection to certain VLANs and assign the other internet connection to the other VLANs and set them both as like failover. I don't know. I just did this today. I just found out about this today. And so I haven't looked into all the options that I have with my my Ubiquiti Dream Machine SE to see what I can do. But I'm very, very excited. Very excited. Let's see. Stevens is right. Yes, you can do that. Okay, cool. I was kind of hoping. Red Panda hot dog. Oh, sorry. Just hot dogs, just hot dogs. Okay. Wow, that one gets me every time because I think it's the real Red Panda, but then I read the hot dog and I'm like, oh, dang it, he got me again. Steven, oh yeah, Steven says I can do that. And Scott A says, yes, Max, doable. Okay, cool. Max, are you running a distro site? I'm not even sure what that means. Argon Strider says the conduit is installed to my curb, just waiting for them to shoot fiber in all the conduit and attach to my house. Lucky you, Aragorn Strider. I have a feeling mine's still probably 6 months out. They're probably trying to gauge interest. So this is the reason why I'm trying to get everybody around me to sign up for the pre-order. Because it doesn't commit you to anything. But it does hopefully prioritize their build out. Is what I'm hoping, that in the areas where they have a lot of pre-orders that they will build out. So fingers crossed that it happens sooner rather than later. All right. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about tonight? Oh, that. Let's talk about this first. So I did talk about this on Saturday night, but Demo 2.0. If you have not looked at your Demo app recently, might suggest that you don't, and maybe move your Demo, at least most of it, somewhere other than your either Phantom or MetaMask or Rainbow Wallet, because as soon as you do this migration that it's going to prompt you to do, it changes your wallet address. And that link to your Rainbow, MetaMask, Phantom wallet is then broken. You do not have that link anymore. So I'm not thrilled with that, but I went through it. I have access. I can transfer it if I want. I started to transfer it and I didn't make the second transfer. I tested the first transfer to make sure it went through to Tangem, and it did. So I wanted to transfer the rest of what I had in there out. But yeah, it's and there's a lot of problems that people are having. Like their balance just disappears. Anyway, they have a whole FAQ on their Discord of here's all the problems you can run into. It's a page long. Of all the problems you can run into, and here's what you do in each of these situations. They're all not good situations to be in because you're all like, where did my crypto go? Where did my vehicles go? You know, I don't want to have to try to restart from zero. I'm at like 79, 80 weeks on my units. So I'm on level 4. I don't want to go back to level 1, making what I was doing with level 1. So I had that problem as well. Again, that got straightened out. I mean, it all got straightened out in a relatively short period of time, but it's nerve-wracking when you think, oh, geez, I just lost, I'm going to be losing money because now I have to start from scratch at 0 to get these credits, so that I get credit for having done it all this time. So anyway, just be very careful. Be very careful. My suggestion would be wait a couple weeks, let them work out the kinks, put out another version, and then see how other people are reporting on it, and then maybe give it a try. That would be my recommendation. Geek of All Trades, 80 weeks? Damn, your unit is old. Yes, it is old. And hey, I got the same type of unit you have. It's the same one. It's the AutoPi. Oh, got it. I got it. I see. No, my Demo unit. Demo unit. Damn, Geek of All Trades. Always mine in the gutter. Mine's never in the gutter. Never. Nelson Figueroa says, Max, remember to set the interface metric on both connections to 50 to load balance them. Okay, cool. Appreciate that. I mean, I'm sure I'll find a site that kind of tells me how to do it. Like I said, I did a very minimal search. The key thing was making sure that, yes, I set things to go, connections to certain connections to go here and certain connections to go there, but that they both are fallback to the other one, so that if one goes down, everybody goes to the one link. So it's all my idea. Okay. God. Reminds me of an old stupid joke that I will not share because it's not that funny. Don't do load balance with port forwarding. Huh. Good point. Good point. That could be bad. That could be very bad. Okay, then. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, I have all the VAST rigs have port forwarding on them because that's the way that they operate. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. But thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up, Swamp 7. That's a very good point. What am I downloading? I'm not downloading anything. I'm looking up at my screen like, what's it saying? Yeah, there's no download button up here. Not downloading anything. Yeah, I can embiggen my head now. We're done talking. Now it's oh, and the super chat even showed up there. Not with the screen I was on, but now it shows up on this one. So that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, you guys any questions? Let me know. It's been a little over an hour since I started. Wasn't planning on going too late tonight because I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. Oh, you want to know how I can use so much bandwidth? It's all salad. It's all salad. Let me see. I think I can do this. Let me do this. All right. Yeah, if I do that, I can do it. All right, let me do this. Hey, stop that. Oh, I say just reverse them. Okay, that's fine. Let me do this. Really hate it when it does this. Oh my gosh, stop it. What I'm trying to do is not show my IP address. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, gosh darn it. Not what I wanted to do, people. I don't even know where it went. Oh, there it is. Well, that ain't it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. It's right there. Let me see if I can slide this over. There we go. Okay. Think it will let me do what I want to do right now. Okay. So you can see I'm peaking out at 1.85 gigabits per second download. And all of this, so this right here is 0.8. That line right there is 0.8. So you can see a lot of the time I'm over a gig download. I'm doing 10.6 terabytes a day. 10.6 terabytes a day. Oh, good, because I was having trouble with it. Good. I was thinking, oh man, I have to delete this video. So that's good that you guys can't see it. Let me bring it back up now, because I have it in such a way that it'll work. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. All right. Let me do that again. Okay. So you can see here, like, this is the scale. This is 1.7 right here. I break 1.7 regularly on my download. So when people say, what do you need 2 gig for? You're never going to use 2 gig. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Because mine's been a little bit slower. If I do like a test on it, it won't get 2 gig. If it was operating perfectly, yeah, then it would. But right now, unfortunately, it's not operating perfectly. So, yeah. So, yeah, I use a lot of data, and this is all salad. It's not vast. It's salad. So it makes me wonder. I have turned off bandwidth sharing, but it really makes me wonder if there's some shenanigans going on in the background with salad, that even though you have bandwidth sharing turned off, you're still sharing bandwidth. And this I have to prove it. What do I use for router? I use a Ubiquiti Dream Machine SE. That's what I have. So it can do, shoot. Yeah, I guess I can. I forget what I think it's 3.5 gigabits per second with all the features turned on. If you turn the features off, security, all that kind of stuff, you turn that off, then I have a 10 gig throughput on it. But I'm not going to do that. So having anything greater than 3.5 is kind of not really worth it for what I do. So anyway, but that's the router I use. Yeah, I don't think he's throttling me. Okay, so there's a feature with Comcast called mid-split, which enables all of these speeds. The problem is there are problems and things need to get tuned. It's kind of like the old analog days where things need to get tuned regularly. And it's not a set and forget type of thing. The technicians hate mid-split. And I said, why do you hate it? It gives you business. And they're like, yeah, I guess that's a point, but they hate it. They absolutely hate it because they're constantly going out for people that are complaining about their speeds and then going out there. The real senior techs are good. But basically he had to, this was the other thing. They come to your site and they're like, oh, I'll improve your signal. And so they go out and I swear to God, they just pick a random connector that they change. And they're like, well, I changed the connector on that end. So it was looking a little corroded. So your signal should be better. And then they leave and nothing changes. And then you call back and go, no. I need somebody real who's going to come out and actually take signal levels and things. And then the guy comes out, disconnects your cable, which of course then you lose internet, which is bad. And that's why I don't really complain about it much, because I would rather have consistent internet rather than the perfect speeds. But then he disconnects it. He looks at the signal and then realizes, oh yeah, this over here, you see this over here? This is too low. This needs to be up where this is. And then he goes out in some central location and makes some adjustment, and then everything's great. But they have to disconnect your internet for a decent period of time where I would lose my jobs. And so that's why I don't complain about it. So yeah, mine is true unlimited. That's not why I'm not getting throttled. It's just kind of up and down. Like I said, it's 2 gig. You can see how I'm getting close to 2 gig with what's actually being downloaded. So pretty sure that is not the case. And honestly, if I had 1 gig consistent, I'd be fine. Not really too worried about that. Let's see. I was looking to see where Argon Strider said, oh, Argon Strider says, fudge, Max, install your patches. Yeah, but here's the thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've had issues where I've updated things on Ubiquiti and then I had problems. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at what these updates are. So that's the reason why I haven't updated yet. I want to look at what the updates are, if they're worth it to me, if they're not worth it to me, is there any benefit whatsoever? Anyway, I actually was on if anybody knows Lawrence, I forget what the rest of it is. But anyway, it's a tech YouTube channel that really focuses on networking. And I had asked him on one of his live streams, would you recommend not updating to the current release with Ubiquiti? Have you ever found any issues? And he had said no. And I had said, well, I've had a problem with one of mine. And he's like, well, that was probably really a one-off and very unusual. And I'm like, that may be, but that's what's kind of made me kind of hesitate to update my Ubiquiti router when, you know, when it's working just fine. All right, let's see. Quality of service, Crypto Craig says. All right, I'm sorry, I'm just going down. So Max check, make sure sometimes updates go awry and stuff gets turned back on. Well, I haven't done my updates, so probably not turned back on. Could people be renting rigs to mine that network sharing coin? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I see what you're saying. Could they be renting it? Oh, maybe. But I don't have crypto mining set to on, but that's possible. That is possible. That maybe I don't have the feature set on, but that somebody might be renting it to do that feature. I suppose that's possible. I should ask that. See if they're able to do that. Dakota Miner says, I love my fiber connection. Yeah, I will too. Once I get it. Argon Strider says, renters can do anything they want. The good part on Vast is you set a price for bandwidth, so they have to pay for it. Salad doesn't charge for bandwidth usage. Could you imagine how much I would make? I charge on Vast 50 cents per gig. Or is it 50 cents per terabyte. So if I'm doing 10 terabytes a day, I'd be making on this on everything, I'd be making an extra $5 a day. Not gonna get rich on it, but it'd be nice to get paid that. Really, Kaiser? I didn't realize we were the same age. Good to know. Good to know. Swamp 7 says, never update Ubiquiti garbage. Only update is replaced with something else. I like my Ubiquiti. I do like it. I do like it. Salad updates? Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying when Salad updates, things get yes, you're correct. And I have checked that. So no, it's not any of that. Well, heck, I could check one of my rigs. I'll check after the stream. But I'm next to positive because I did check one of them when I updated a 1.7.2 to make sure nothing had been turned on, and it wasn't. And it's been like this for a long time. It hasn't been recent. But yeah, I'll have to ask them if I can get on the next if I can watch their next live stream. I will ask that question. Like, can they rent your rig to mine and to use it for your internet, like as in like a VPN type of thing. Nick, the MVP, says, you have 2 gig? I'm getting around 2.4 gig down. Yeah, I haven't been getting 2.4. I was originally, but not lately. So it's been right around like 1.7 to 1.9. Which again, like I said, I'm not going to argue about, because if I do, oh wow, look at that. Did you just see that? Oh, hang on. I got to put the other screen on because that's nuts. Hold on. Look at this spike in speed. Evidently, somehow I got 8.2 gigabytes down. That's insane. Now, again, it did just turn 9:15. So this is over a very short period of time. So I'm guessing that this will change very rapidly. This is probably just a glitch in how it shows things, because it does things in 5-minute intervals. So at the very beginning of the interval, you might get a glitch like that. But that's pretty funny. That's really funny. All right. So yeah, this little thing over here. Nice little spike. See, look at that. It just came back. That's funny. That is funny. Salad says workloads involve video processing for a virtual private network. Yes, video processing. Yes, for adult films type of thing. I'm guessing that that's probably where a lot of the bandwidth is coming in. That would be my guess. Golden Wolf says Dream Machine firewall will slow the speed. Yes, it will a bit, but I mean, I had it where it was a 2.4. It's not the firewall. I know that they need to come out and redo the levels. But Yusuf, that's all your data is used for. I'm pretty sure that's what it's being used for mostly. Pretty sure. But the fact that I got a bit of a spike here maybe tells me that maybe I'm doing a little bit better on salad for a change. I'm going to look at my salad and see how I'm doing. All right, first of all, get rid of that. Oh, let me do a refresh on that screen. I know you guys can't see the screen, but no, it's still doing not very good. Salad's making me crazy. Making me crazy, but where else am I going to host a 3060 Ti and actually get paid out on it? Not very many other places. But it does make me kind of think about where to put the 3090s and the 4070 Ti and the 4070. Decisions. Alrighty, guys. Well, I've been going an hour and 15 minutes. I'll go another 5 minutes. If you guys have any more questions, I see Argon Strider 10 gigabits per second land for the win. Yeah, I mean, I do have a 10 gigabit link between my downstairs switch and my upstairs router. So just using, RJ45, Cat 6 cable. So that is nice to have. It certainly will, I think, well, actually on my NAS, I still only have a 1 gig, link on it. I only have a 1 gig link on it. I didn't do a 2.5, gig on that particular one. Well, it doesn't really matter because, if I was going to do a 10 gig, I do have the ability to add a few 10 gig, connections into the switch downstairs if I wanted to. I do have a 10 gig port on my Octa server that I could use and go direct into the Ubiquiti switch. And like I said, if I wanted to set up any of the other ones with a 10 gig, I could do that. But for the most part, I don't really want to do that because it would just basically dominate the entire network at certain times. And I don't want it to do that. I want things to be somewhat limited as to what they can do. All right. Argon Strider says there are also a few weird situations where internal traffic doing a cutback on the WAN to hop VLANs via an external IP looks like heavy internet usage in the graph. So there are a few weird situations where internal traffic doing a cutback on the WAN to hop VLANs. Interesting. So yeah, I've got quite a few VLANs, and obviously none of them are on the same VLAN that my network is on. Interesting. Maybe that's what's maybe that's what's causing it to look like it does. Huh. Interesting. I hadn't actually thought of that. Well, alrighty. Let's see. Bandwidth limit each salad rig. I can definitely do that. It's helped your network. Maybe I'll do that. I was actually even just thinking about limiting it to 500. I haven't had any issues unless you guys have seen any issues with the stream, but from what I've seen, I've not had any issues at this point. Oh, it did? Oh, it buffered once? Well, maybe I should do that then. The problem is that you don't get paid while your container's loading. So I want the container to load quick. Because once the container's loaded, there isn't anywhere near the same amount of data going back and forth as far as speed. It's the container being loaded that takes those huge spikes. Anyway. Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much for joining me on my stream. I appreciate it. And just double checking. Oh, one last thing. Totally forgot about this. Let me bring up my Discord again. And let's go to Flux, because this I thought was pretty cool. Go to announcements. SimpleX is a chat application, and it is now running on Flux. I don't think it's running completely on Flux yet. It might be the intention, but it is carrying a bunch of the traffic. I didn't actually have a chance to ask them. I'm assuming this is running on the Node network because, again, chat app, I mean, you're talking text. It's not going to take that much processing. So I would think something like the Node network would be perfect for something like this. So I thought that was really cool. This is like a real world app that people can use and are using. And, we talk about, what's the application? What are you going to use this for? And here's a real world use of the Flux network, the Flux node network. So I thought that was really cool when I saw that. Really cool. So anyway, just wanted to bring that up just briefly. So alrighty, guys. Well, thank you again for being here. I very much appreciate it. I will be back next Monday. Anything in between now and next Monday, not sure, but I might. With Thanksgiving and everything, I probably won't go live before next Monday. But I do have next Monday off of work, so I'll have plenty of time to prepare. So there'll be no excuse not to have things to talk about next Monday. So, alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. You guys all have a wonderful night, and the General is out. Good night, everybody.